it's one of those moments that collectively traumatized the whole nation. So 2010, I was about 12 years old. I still have not been able to watch the highlights of that game. Whenever I'm watching like a compilation of football matches and that match comes out, I immediately fast forward it. That's still how painful it is to every Ghanaian.
Welcome, everyone, to a full-length and special episode of our Where in the World Cup feature that we do. We have been looking for fans from the countries that are participating in the World Cup for them to help us learn about football, their country, and to help us get ready for the teams that we ought to be looking out for in the World Cup. And today we have with us Sam Gbolo. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. So I did a post on TikTok and I just reached out and said, hey, if there's anybody out there willing to talk to us about their country who is going to be participating in the World Cup, we would love to talk to you. And Sam was kind enough to reach out and say that he would be happy to speak with us. So we're going to just learn everything we can about football in Ghana while we're together. So Sam, can you tell us what is football like in terms of the culture in Ghana, fandom, all of that? Because for those of us in the United States, football, and we call it soccer here, is still a fairly new phenomenon, but it is very popular in Africa and very popular in Ghana.
Yeah. So if I can put that into perspective, I would just say like football is life. I think that is kind of cliche in a little bit because it's used in like a movie, like movies a lot. But in Ghana, football transcends religion. Like it is very, very pure emotions. For example, it is very common that when the Ghana national team is about to play a football match, everybody will be like, "Oh, let me go and have food before the game starts." Because if the game finishes and you haven't eaten yet, that means your appetite is gone and you no longer want to eat. So that's how emotional soccer is. Soccer is for Ghanaians. It is a very big part of life, and every tournament that comes around, even if it's a friendly or if it's like a tournament or just like a qualification game, football is always at the top of everybody's calendar, and we are excited. And when we lose, it's hard to eat because we just lose appetite. So it's a very big part of our culture.
That's amazing. And so kind of off of that, I know Ghana was not in AFCON this year, but that is a huge tournament. And to be honest with you, this is the first year I've watched, but I know that it is such a huge and amazing tournament. Can you tell us a little bit about what AFCON means to Ghana and participating in it, and just a little bit about that tournament for people who maybe are only watching the World Cup and not realizing that there is good competitive country versus country soccer going on all the time?
Where do you even begin? Like AFCON is, when you're watching some games like the European games, like the Premier League, or you're watching the Euros, it's like most of it is focused on the football on the pitch. But AFCON is like that's where the displays of culture, dancing, singing. You can see that the vibe in the stadium is different. So it goes farther than just the soccer on the field. It is like a totality of life. And when Ghana missed out on the African Cup of Nations, and even the one that was held previously in Cote d'Ivoire that we qualified for, but we didn't make it out of the group stage. I think we were knocked out by like Comoros, or we were supposed to lead the game with them, but we lost that game. And we still have like a grudge with them, like a rivalry that is stemming us from that game. So qualifying for AFCON is very huge for the continent. I remember I was a kid around 2008 when Ghana hosted the AFCON, and it was a big deal in Ghana. Even now, it's still like a big topic that we discuss. So AFCON is like it's cultural, it's football, it's the game. Is everybody gets excited about AFCON coming up. So if you don't know anything about AFCON, I know you said this is the first time you watched it. It was held in Morocco, and they did a good job. But I will encourage everyone to tune in every now and then when AFCON is in season because it's pure entertainment. I feel like sometimes the football tactics on the field is boring. AFCON is the only one of the only tournaments that the name on the back of your shirt doesn't really matter. Like no matter how big you are on the football team, when you enter the AFCON pitch, it really goes out of the window. So it really comes down to who is more determined, who is more physical, who has the stamina to kind of be excited about the game and like push it to the end. So it's very cultural, and then the dancing is immaculate, and then all the fans in the stadium are so excited. It's like if you're looking for pure entertainment, both in football and also out of the football pitch, I think everybody should always consider watching AFCON.
It was really exciting to watch for me as a fairly new fan to the sport, and the style of play. That was one of the things Chase and I talked about. It is an exciting brand of football, and then the fans were amazing. Just the fans for different countries, and everybody was so into it. And that for me was how I could tell this is such a huge tournament. You are just seeing all of these fans from the different countries turn out for it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's a very big tournament. Sometimes it can be looked down upon outside of, especially in Europe or some places, because maybe the infrastructure is not that good, or I'm putting air quotes here, or maybe the players don't have the big names of players like the Ronaldos, the Messis. They are not in the tournament. It can sometimes be looked down upon, and you can explain some of the reasons why that is. But if you watch it, you realize that it is pure entertainment, and the people that are watching it, uh, all the fans inside, they are really really committed to it. They support their team all the way, and it's something that we look forward to every 2 years to come around. So AFCON is my favorite tournament of all time, even more than the World Cup. So I would encourage people to always check it out. It's always a good entertainment.
That's awesome. Um, Tell us, how do you feel about Ghana's draw for the World Cup?
Uh, I don't know. As a football fan, I've been watching football my entire life. I want to be hopeful and hoping that we can make it out of the group stage. But also, I don't want to be delusional, right? So, they say the hope is the hope that kills you. So, I'm going to be supporting my team all the way. And I am hoping that we can at least, because I think our last two tournaments, or at the last World Cup, we didn't make it out of the group stages. And the last outcome that we went to, we didn't make it out of the group stage. So this is one of the third tournaments that we'll be going to. So I'm hoping this time we make it out of the group stage, and I'm hopeful. Again, I'm very hopeful. But again, I'm keeping my hopes very realistic. We have some very good squad to be looking up to. We have some big names now coming up in our team. But as in, if individual skills is different from like a team skill. So we have some individual skills. Can they gel together in the pitch and make something happen? I think that's left to be seen. But I'm hopeful, and we have a good coach. In my opinion, I think we have a chance of making out of the group stage. So yeah,
I heard one of the pundits talking that England should be scared of Ghana.
yeah.
So yeah, so I hope that they thought that matchup favored Ghana, or at least Ghana would be super competitive in it. So um, we're a little bit familiar with Panama
Yeah,
because they play in CONCACAF.
yeah,
So I think it is. I mean, it is a tough group, and obviously Croatia very good as well.
Yeah.
But Ghana definitely, I think, has put a little bit of fear in some of those other teams.
Huh, I don't. Yeah. Uh, Obviously, it's football, and no matter how small you think a team is, on a good day, if they catch you on their good day, they can take up any team. And you've seen that from our previous World Cup experience. We've taken on some big teams like Germany, Portugal. Some of them we didn't win, but we did very good in those games. And I think we had a draw with Germany at one of the World Cups. So England is a team that obviously they have the big names like England is a very good team. I'm not denying that. But Ghana, I think I feel the pundit is right. I think we can have a chance on a good day. Obviously, it's one of those things that if I'm watching as a fan, best case scenario, I'm hoping that we at least get a point out of it. Worst case scenario, I'm hoping I'm thinking that okay, even if we lose, let's lose and still have our chest up and be like, okay, we performed good. Our quality was just not as good as this. So, but I'm hoping that on a good day, say players like Semenyo, players like Kudus, and our defense is quite good. We have a good midfield like Partey. If all of them are fit and we catch them on the good day, I think we can really give England a very good game. And I'm hoping that that game will be one of those games. At least we get a point out of it, and at least that will get us noticed. For some people will be watching the game because of their interest in the English players. But they will see the way the Ghanaian players are playing. They'll be like, okay, this is a team we should be looking up to. So it's a tough game. It's a tough matchup. Everybody that knows football like me knows I know I'm familiar with all the players in England in the English team. So I'm not being delusional and be like, okay, we have the best squad. No, we definitely don't have the best squad. But we are committed, and I'm hoping that fingers crossed on a good day, we give them a
Hey,
good day. Yeah,
that's right. That's why they play the game. So you can always
exactly.
see.
Yeah, you go to play. You don't go to be like, okay, I'm already lost. So yeah.
So kind of thinking through that again, we're geared toward new fans who are just discovering the sport and learning, and we're hoping that people will learn through the World Cup about great teams that are out there that they don't know anything about. Who are some players on the Ghana team that people should be looking for?
In football language, from now until the tournament starts is a very long time. Injuries can happen and everything, but hopefully everything, none of our players get injured. For one player that I'll really want everybody to look up to is Semenyo. He hasn't done too good. I mean, he has done okay, but he hasn't done too well in the national team as we were hoping he would. But this season has been really good for him. He moved from Bournemouth to Manchester City. He's been firing on all cylinders. He's doing very good. So hopefully he can carry as the way he's doing in Manchester City. Hopefully he can do the same thing for our national team. If he remains fit and hopefully nothing happens from now to the beginning of the tournament, I feel like Semenyo is one player that everybody should be looking up to. And hopefully he'll be fit, and I'm sure he's gonna put on the show.
Yeah, he's been playing great for Man City.
Yeah,
I'm a Liverpool fan, so
me
he
too.
kind of stuck it to us. Oh, you are?
Yeah, I saw you guys on your thing. You were wearing Liverpool shirts. I didn't know because from the shows sometimes you wear different jerseys, so I wasn't sure whether you guys were Liverpool fans. But I'm a die-hard Liverpool fan. So and we are doing bad this season. Obviously, that's not what we are talking about today. But I just want to throw it out there that I'm going through a lot. So I don't know. Yeah,
I love it. I love
yeah,
it. Well, Semenyo he had a really good game against us and
yeah.
looked tough. And so he's been playing really well. And I would think that would translate to the national team. I mean, he's seeing good competition and playing tough leading up to the World Cup. So I would think that would mean good things for how he'll play for you guys.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Like I said, I'm hoping every game. I know they have a game this evening around 3, so I think in a couple of minutes. So every game now I watch, and I'm hoping whenever I get the ball, I'm like, please don't get injured. So yeah, I'm putting my hopes and my beliefs in him that he doesn't get injured. I'm sure if he remains fit, if you have like a very good winger or a very good player in your team, even if you're playing teams like England, they are aware that if they slag off a little bit, you can take advantage of them. So if we get Semenyo, and we also have like one young player, Abud Fatawu, he's playing in Leicester right now. I think they're in the Championship right now. He's also one of those young up and coming players. He's been played with English in recent years, but he's very quick, he's very fast, he's very dynamic, and he shoots. He can score long distance goals. And again, if on his good day, you can stand up and applaud him. So Semenyo, Abdul Fatau from Leicester City, those are some of the players that are from Ghana that I will keep my eye on, and hopefully they don't get any injuries. And yeah, I'll be
Yes.
excited to watch them.
Yes. Grandma, did you have anything you wanted to ask?
I wanted to ask, I assume you have played in the past yourself?
Unfortunately, after basic soccer in like the primary school, just playing in the field. I haven't been playing soccer very much. Once in a while for like exercise, but I'm nothing close to anything professional at all.
Yeah. It's well, we've never played at all. Chase plays.
Chase plays.
But you don't have to play to love it. I certainly love watching it, and have become, like I said, I got into it because of Chase, and I've just become more and more of a fan, and I feel like I'm always looking for other games to watch, and that's how with AFCON just thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so much fun, and something that was not on my radar a year ago. So
Oh, good, good. I'm glad you
yeah.
enjoy it. It's a very exciting tournament.
Yes. Anything else that you want us to know about your country, about your country's football team? Anything that when people are watching in the World Cup that you think you got to know this about us when you're watching?
Yeah, obviously, the game is an important part of it. But if you're going to watch a Ghana match, you should watch the previews to the match. As the players walk to the stadium, they come with a lot of music, and we always try to present our culture. Like one thing Ghanaians we do is that we are very proud of where we are from, and we are very proud of everything about our culture, including our dressing. So that's something that the players used to try and carry on. So every tournament they try to wear some of the local dresses, and it's usually very good. So I tune in before the match and look at what we are wearing, and also follow the fans around. If you're in a city that is hosting one of the Ghana games, please try and go to the fan parks and enjoy the hospitality and the smiles from all the Ghanaian fans. So, because football is a very big part of us and it's one of the things that unites us. So, I encourage you to support us and support our culture. If you want to, if you like it, you can go to Ghana and visit and watch a football game in Ghana. That's going to be a life changing experience for anyone that is interested in football because we take it serious and it's something that entertains us.
I love that, and they are going to have the fan experiences set up in the cities where the host cities where they're playing. So that is a great idea to get to go, and one of the added benefits to get to experience the culture of other countries who are coming here to visit and to play. So I love that so much.
Yeah.
I've also heard that the food in Ghana is excellent.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
So I think I'm trying to remember who I was watching, a footballer, maybe Jeremy Frimpong. And he was doing a taste test of things, and he had a dish that that was from Ghana, and he was super excited from a Ghana themed restaurant, I guess would be the right thing to say,
Yeah.
in England. And he was just talking about how good it was. And so I'm like, that's on my list as well.
Yeah, yeah. If you get a chance to try our foods, we have some popular ones like jollof. It's mostly rice cooked in tomato sauce. Very nice. We have a whole fight going on with Nigeria with who has the best jollof. I'll leave that to you to try it and decide
Okay.
which one you like. But obviously, I'll back my country's food. Our jollof is very good, and we have wache and other food that is very good. Ghanaian food is one of. If you meet a Ghanaian, even me, as I am in the US right now, most of the food I eat is Ghanaian because it's one of the dishes that is hard to get anywhere else other than in the Ghanaian culture. So, yeah, if you do have a chance to try our food, please do, and you won't regret it. It's a very good experience.
I look forward to that. We're going to
Yeah,
have to find a place. We got to find a spot. So,
yeah, yeah.
well, did you have anything, Chase, you wanted to ask?
I have one question. Obviously, there are many moments from the Ghana national team, some controversial moments,
I knew he was going to
but
ask
also some
about
big
this.
moments. First of all, what's one moment that lives in your head rent free about the Ghana national team?
Obviously, the saddest one every Ghanaian would tell you about is you try to suppress it, but it always comes back. Is our 2010 World Cup match with Suarez and the whole handball situation. Um, as a Liverpool fan, obviously I know how good Suarez was for Liverpool. I know he's a club legend, but I've never been able to like him, regardless of whatever he does for Liverpool, because of that single moment. So yeah, it's one of those moments that collectively traumatized the whole nation. But uh, now that we've moved a little bit past it, we haven't gotten over it, but we've getting some distance from it. It's sometimes a good memory knowing that that happened. So in our World Cup memories, that is one of the moment that live rent free in our heads. So and also I know in that year we beat the US and in like a very intense game. So that's I look at that I watch that highlights all the time because it's one of those matches in the tournament that I can still watch and not have to think about what happened after that match or what happened later on in the tournament. So yeah, so the Suarez handball moment is still very painful, but now I look back at it, I'm like, at least we made it to that stage for that to happen to us.
I watched the highlights of that game this morning before our interview because Chase had told me about it, and yeah, it was heartbreaking just to watch the synopsis of what went down, and but it is one of those things that people are so passionate about the game
Yeah.
and so supportive of their national team. When you love something that much, that's why it hurts so much.
I tell you the truth. Since that was 2010, I was about 12 years old. And I watched that game live, obviously. I've since then, I've still till to date, I still have not been able to watch the highlights of that game. Like whenever I'm watching like compilation of football matches, or I'm watching some show and they are bringing up something and that match comes out, I immediately fast forward it. I've never still been able to look at that moment. That's still how painful it is to every Ghanaian. Obviously those of us that were alive during that time. So it's like one of the painful memories for us in the World Cup. But anyways, we are so glad we made it to that stage, and we are very proud of it as one of the few African countries that are able to make it up to that stage. He ruined our tournament, but anyways, we still take the good part of the tournament with us.
And I'll also have one more. What's a positive moment that lives in your head rent free?
Um, the positive moment is the US match that we won against the USA. Um, the goal that I think Asamoah scored the winning goal, the way he took it, I remember I was for me personally, I was with my family in like the community center at the town, because in matches like that, even though some people have TVs in their houses, they try to gather in like a fun, to get a fun experience in like a big screen to watch it. I was watching it in that particular time, and when that goal went in, like the whole community, you could hear like there was like a huge shout that went on, and people that were watching were surprised what was happening. That was how joyful that moment was to us. So it's like one of the good memories that I have about the World Cup. Another good memory for me in football is not in the main World Cup particularly, but I think prior to the 2010 World Cup, there was a youth tournament. I think on the 20 World Cup that happened, that Ghana ended up winning. So, and I remember that whole night, nobody slept in my town because we were all so happy and we like celebrating the whole night. So, yeah, football is it gives us the most some of the painful times, but also some of the most happiest times. So, yeah, that's why we love it, because you start a game, you never know what you're going to get. Either you refuse to eat at the end of it, or you'll be the happiest man on the
Yes.
court.
It's a roller coaster. Or there's a
Yeah,
draw and nobody's happy.
yeah, that's true too.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I would
Yeah.
love when we get to the World Cup to talk to you again, when we get into playing games and group stage, and check in with how you're feeling about how Ghana is doing. And particularly if they do make it out of that group stage, I would love to visit with you and talk about their path.
Ah, if you make it up to the group stage, oh my goodness. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I might take a loan and buy a ticket and go to the stadium, like see if that's possible. But yeah, like I said, that would be nice. I would love to for the World Cup, and I'm keeping my hope grounded, but that's mostly to protect myself. But I know as the tournament get closer, I'm gonna get too excited and be like, oh, we're gonna get off of the group stage. You know, Croatia is getting old, so maybe they are there for the taking. Panama, you're like, okay. England, you're like, okay, you don't know. Like, we never know, so it can go either way. So I have high hopes, but also I'm trying to keep them in check.
Well, no
Yeah,
pressure, but maybe, and we'll check back in and just see how everything's going.
of course. Like, you guys have my email, and feel free to hit me up anytime. Yeah, I'm always excited to talk about football. It's one of the things I do on my free time.
We love it,
Yeah.
and maybe we need to have you back on to talk about Liverpool too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I have, yeah, yeah. I don't know. This last season was the best. Obviously, this season we've been up and down, but yeah, I'll be happy to talk about the team and about how my experience with regards to right now. Tomorrow is I think we have a game with Nottingham Forest tomorrow. Uh, yeah, they have a new manager now, so I'm like, I'm already getting ready for that tomorrow. But
Yeah,
anyways,
and they beat Fenerbahce 3-0. So
Oh,
Nottingham Forest, right?
oh, yeah,
So
yeah. So, yes, I'm spoiled because I came on as a Liverpool fan last year. I didn't understand what I was coming into, and I wasn't really jumping on the bandwagon, but I got on a bandwagon, obviously. And so, yeah, this year I'm kind of sour about how things have gone.
well,
you didn't experience the heartbreak.
yeah, welcome to the team.
So it's solidifying my fandom, though. I think when you go through hard times with your team and you see disappointments, it makes your fandom
Yeah,
stronger.
I
So
agree. Yeah, I agree. Once you experience the highs and you're in the lows, and you know how high it can get, and you know how low it can get, and that's what makes you a true fan. And Hopefully, we are still in some tournaments now with Liverpool. Hopefully, we can make it to the FA Cup final and also make some dents in the Champions League and qualify for next season's Champions League. I think at this moment, that's all the hopes we have. But hopefully, the squad is fit enough for next season. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes, me too. Me too. All right. Thank you, Sam. We appreciate it so much. We'll keep in touch, and we'll let you know when this episode is live, and you can share it, and then you can keep us updated on all things Ghana.
All right. Thank you. You guys have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Sam. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.